Welcome to your deep dive. Looks like we're diving into China today. Tons of material here, a big chunk of the Wikipedia page even.
Oh, yeah.
You've been doing your research. So, ready to tackle this massive, complex country.
Definitely a fascinating one to tackle.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get through all the historical twists and turns, all the economic loops and bounds, cultural nuances, you name it. Won't be a boring history lecture.
No, we'll hit the highlights, connect the dots, hopefully spark some more curiosity along the way.
Yeah. Consider it a crash course in all things China, ancient dynasties to, well, today's role on the world stage.
Right, let's dive right in. When we talk about China, we're talking about a place that's been around for, well, forever. Ancient civilizations, dynasties popping up in the Yellow River Basin, like before 2000 BCE.
Yeah, one of the world's cradles of civilization and that ancient history. It really echoes through China's culture and identity even today.
And speaking of those echoes, let's talk about the Han Dynasty. Ruled for centuries, 206 BCE to 220 CE. I was reading, they actually gave their name to the modern Han Chinese ethnicity. That's pretty incredible.
It is.
Like, what a legacy.
And their influence goes way beyond just a name, They were huge players even back then.
Oh, really?
Huge. Think military campaigns stretching all the way to Central Asia.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And they helped establish the Silk Road, one of the first great examples of globalization, cultural exchange.
Oh, for sure.
Connecting East and West for centuries.
Yeah.
Brought so much more than just goods to China.
Exactly. Ideas, religions, technologies. It was a pipeline.
Wow.
And it's a good reminder that, China has a long history of global engagement, even though they have had some periods of isolation too.
That's fascinating. So you see these periods of expansion, connection, and then sometimes a retreat. Does that pattern continue throughout China's history?
Absolutely. And it's key to understanding how modern China operates today. Take the Qing dynasty. They were the last imperial dynasty. Ruling from 1644 to 1912, added vast territories to China, saw a huge population growth, and even had what's been called a commercial revolution.
It sounds like a golden age almost. Was there a downside to all this success?
Well, some historians argue that the Qing government, as powerful as it was, had policies that kind of prioritized agriculture over everything else and actually clamped down on commerce.
That seems counterintuitive. Why would they do that during a time of, economic growth?
It's complex, but some scholars think that those policies might have ultimately contributed to some social and technological stagnation in China.
Interesting. It's a good reminder that even during periods of prosperity, there can be those underlying issues that, shape the future. Makes you wonder how different things might have been if the Qing dynasty had taken a different approach.
It's a question historians still debate today, and it highlights that pattern, right?
Yeah.
Periods of openness and connection followed by periods of isolation.